Hi there, Rajat from StartupFrat. Good morning. Thank you for waiting for this third part of the video training series. I think it's the third part, right? It's the third part of the video training series where we talk about the video quiz I gave you the last time. Plus, I have a very important lesson that I need to get over to you. So I'm just trying to kind of figure out in my mind what is the best way to illustrate this thing to you. And then I want to give you an opportunity to see me live on Friday night at 9 p.m. Okay, that's in 2 days from now. So again, some notes of mine over here. So what we've spoken about so far is having a system that does the selling for you rather than you going all out and doing the numbers game. So sales, getting business in the market is a numbers game, okay? Now, if you are an independent professional or a corporate professional, if you're not into business, if you're not a salesperson or marketing person, this may seem as a shock to you, but you need to develop your sales and marketing skills. You need to develop your sales and marketing skills because in this economy, if you don't sell for yourself, nobody else is going to sell for you. And regardless of what profession you are in, even if you're like a doctor, lawyer, or architect, or regardless of how good a corporate professional you are under great risk right now. Now, I predicted this from September onwards, and then I started going online February onwards and saying this out to the whole wide world that I'm betting against the market. And till now, whatever's happening is all coming true. Okay, so regardless of whether they blame Corona for it or, some Chinese stuff, it's this, that, the other, world market's going down, etc., whatever the hell they blame it on, the market is down. Okay, it's going to stay down for a while. So what you need to do is you need to quickly figure out how to get into a position where you have a selling system that's constantly bringing you customers and bringing you money and income, rather than just waiting and saying, hey, I have a skill set, I'm a doctor, lawyer, or architect, so pay me, or I'm a hotshot corporate professional, 15 years of service, so pay me. All of that stuff is going to go away real soon. And you must have seen the signs by now, right? So if you have friends in the corporate world, you would have seen different things happening, and you will know that the enemy is at the door. Okay, so what we spoke about in the first video is you create a system where, your prospect or customer basically comes in through one area through one side, and then they go through a series of processes where they self-qualify themselves all the way to your product. Okay, and then hopefully they pay you. So that's pretty much the concept. And then I gave you a video which we are going to talk about. Okay, so a lot of people ask me questions, etc. Are you talking about something like a funnel? Okay, this is called a sales funnel. So sales and marketing professionals, they call it a sales funnel. In the online marketing world, they call it like an online marketing funnel or whatever. And I said, yeah, whatever you call it. The answer is yes. The whole thing is a sales process. Okay, the whole thing is a sales process. And with one little exception, that I'll start with a story. So basically last week I bought 2 courses from 2 separate people. Okay, one of whom is like an online marketer starting out, who claimed that he is extremely good at Facebook ads, and that the stuff he's going to teach you is like 99% of the world doesn't even know about Facebook ads. And then the other person is one of top 10 Indian digital marketers, one of the top 10 digital marketers in India. And they were also claiming that they can teach stuff about Facebook ads that nobody knows. And I was like, okay, I probably need to learn a little more about Facebook. So I'm already doing Facebook ads, and 3 months ago, I didn't even know this stuff. Okay, 3 months ago, I did not understand this stuff at all. In fact, I tried to bring my business online. And for those of you that know me and you've attended maybe a webinar or something of mine, I've been in the top 1% income earning segment in India for last many years. And in spite of having a solid business presence on the ground, the moment I tried to take it online, it would not work. And then, I said, okay, maybe this is not for me. I'm like an old school guy from the old times who doesn't understand this stuff and all of that. So I'd basically given up. So till 3 months ago, I did not even understand this stuff. And now I'm using a bunch of Facebook ads and things like that. I thought maybe I need to learn some more. And then so the story is like this. So with one person, they said that, the thing is worth $5.99, and I clicked the link and I went inside. So this is a guy who claims he knows more about Facebook ads than anybody else. And he is getting that message across to me via a Facebook ad about his Facebook ads course. And then I click on the thing and I go inside, and he said it's $5.99. And I go inside and I see the figure of $8.99. And then I'm like, okay, he said it's $5.99. Inside it says it's $8.99. So I messaged him saying, hey, what is it, $5.99 or $8.99? Because I'm seeing different figures. And then the person reached out to me back saying, oh, sorry, I've corrected it. It's $5.99. Why don't you go and pay over here? And then I realized maybe this person has been trying to sell their course for $8.99 and it's not selling. Maybe it's not selling. That's why they lowered the price. Why do people lower the price? Because it's not selling. A guy who does Facebook ads, who claims to know the maximum about Facebook ads, who's actually selling his Facebook ads course via a Facebook ad, is lowering their prices. Why? Because maybe it's not selling. And then I go inside and attend the course, and I found that I pretty much knew everything that they were trying to teach. And when I say I knew, it basically means everybody knows, because I'm usually the last person on the planet to know anything about technology. Okay, and I'm a coach in a program called the Startup Launch Program, and I routinely have people, my own students, coming to me and saying, hey, what is that crappy technology that you're using for your video? There's a new app. Why don't you use this app, that app? And they're routinely recommending newer stuff to me. So if I know something, then chances are that the other 99% of the world already knows it anyway, because I'm the last person to know about it. And that got me thinking, all of these smart online marketing people, they all talk about this online marketing funnel, and then, the sales people talk about a sales funnel, and the whole thing. You go on, online, everybody's talking about this stuff, right? So what we're talking about is basically an assembly line to do the sales for you. And none of these people themselves are successful. Okay, now I'm not trying to beat them down something. I need to learn all this stuff myself. So I'm going out and trying to learn it from other people. But I'm finding that they're not effective. Some of them do have good knowledge, but they're still not effective, which could be the case with you. You have some good knowledge. You're a doctor, lawyer, corporate professional. You're a small business owner with a fairly successful business on the ground. But when it comes to recession proofing it, you're realizing that a lot of the tools and techniques and things like that, they don't work. And the difference and the reason is that I'm going to talk to you about this stuff. I'm going to give you 4 points that are going to blow your brains right now. Okay, but coming back to this stuff, this thing is like an assembly line. So Henry Ford, what did he invent? Henry Ford, the chairman of the Ford Motor Company, what did he invent? People say cars. No, he didn't invent cars. What he invented, my friend, was a system to produce cars at a speed that everybody in the world could buy cars. So what he created was the assembly line. Okay, so there were people, the Rolls-Royce and people like that were making cars, but every car used to take like 3 months to make or something, and it still takes like 6 months to make a Rolls-Royce and all of that. And only because it was so custom designed and so expensive and everything, that only the richest of the rich could afford them. And then Henry Ford figured out that this thing is so useful, this vehicle, that everybody should be using it. Okay, but everybody cannot afford it. So what he did was he created a machine. He created a machine called the assembly line, which belted out these cars so fast that due to an oversupply in the market, the price fell to where he wanted it. And he said there is only one rule. You can have any color you want as long as it's black. You can have any color you want as long as it's black. So what he did was he started mass producing this stuff. Okay, and he created a huge industry, the car industry, and then the politicians were forced to pass laws that said that the government should build more roads because so many people have cars. Okay, the government was forced to pass laws that said we need to get some of these horses off the road because all they're doing is, putting their dung on the road, and it's not healthy for anyone. There's infection everywhere. So we need to build more roads, have less horses, have more cars, right? So he changed the game, and till today it stands changed because he built an assembly line. The only difference being that he built an assembly line after understanding what's going on in the market. After understanding what's going on in the market, he said people need cars and they want cars, except that they don't realize it. They need cars and they want cars, except that they don't realize it. But because in their mind, if you ask a customer, what would you like? They said a faster horse. They said a faster horse. So what he did was he said, I need to change the picture in the mind of the customer. And when you go to change the picture in the mind of the customer, they always think about the maximum they'll think about is a Rolls Royce, and then they'll say, it's too much money, I don't want it. Right? So he needed to change all of those things. I'm going to give you 4 steps on how you can do that. 4 steps, and then the whole thing will come into focus for you, right? Now, all of these people who are doing this online marketing funnel and the sales funnel and all that, they don't realize that 2 things, that the market is basically what the market is basically a person. So you got to think about it that way. It's a person. It's a person. Okay. Don't think about, even if you're trying to go online, something that I was trying to do 2 or 3 years back and I was still failing, that when you put your message out, it is going to reach a person. So if you don't have the market mentality, which Henry Ford had, that if I don't change the picture in their mind, they will always want a faster horse. Okay. So you need to have a market conscious mentality. And the second thing was, this assembly line would not run itself. There were people running it. There were people who would put wheels on it. There were people who would put another part on it. And what this would do was the machine would integrate all of it and produce a finished product. Okay. So the machine doesn't run itself. Okay. There has to be a human element to it as well. Okay. Except the machine will supercharge the human element and create everything at 1,000 times faster than you could create and 1,000 times cheaper than you could create. Right? Now enter the slowdown, enter the coronavirus time. What happens is that the market has shrunk. The need for you to produce something faster, cheaper, and better has increased. Okay, and if you're there in the market, utilizing some of these concepts, you could beat out all the other competition in the market, including big corporates. Big corporates, my friend, are hurting because many of these big corporates are still doing things the old way. They were working off logos and brand names and celebrity endorsements. None of that crap works anymore. Nobody cares about Amitabh Bachchan coming on TV and selling them stuff, but they care about the human element. They care about you connecting with them. Okay, so how does the whole thing work? The issue with all of these online marketers not being able to do anything, and you go on Facebook and everybody's trying to slap you with some online funnel, some Facebook ads course, some crap like that. And none of these guys, I attended a 3-hour long webinar with one of India's top online marketers, somebody I used to have a lot of respect for. And I was like, dude, if this is what you're doing, you're not going to last long. At least after 1 year, when I'm in the game, you won't last long. Let's see if that happens, because I got some crazy ideas coming up. And I'll share them with you so that you can learn from all of this and probably benefit. After that, I'm going to ask you for 1 or 2 favors. 1 or 2 favors. Always, when I give you something, I'm going to ask for something in return. It's an exchange of value. Get used to it. Okay, where's my notes? Okay. Now this online funnel and all, whatever the hell that is, you have a website or a landing page or something, and then when you come here, you click on it, and then you put your email, and then you click, and then it goes there, and then you click and it goes somewhere else. Whatever the hell that is. It's simple to make. Okay, it's a bunch of tool sets. But what these online marketer fellows are doing is they don't understand what the tool set does, and they don't understand all the applications of the tool set. Similarly with you and your product and your qualification and your 15 years of experience, if you don't understand what it does and how it can help someone, and if you cannot change the picture in the mind of your customer, then your tool set and your 15 years of experience and your hotshot degree is going to be as useless as all these online marketers trying to sell their funnel stuff or whatever the hell that is, right? So I'm going to give you 4 things, 4 ideas, okay? And then I'm going to tell you a time and place where we can meet live, and then we'll talk more about it, okay? So now in the market, what has happened in the market is the market has shrunk, okay? People are not going out anymore. People are not spending money anymore. And like the whole thing is like, the trust levels in the market are like 0 and nobody wants to spend any money. The only place people are spending money is the kirana wala or the local chemist. That's it. Not you, not your business. So what are the things you need to solve? What are the pictures you need to change in the mind of your customers? First, what is it that they need? What is it that they need? The second is, why should they spend money to buy it? Why should they spend money on it? Yeah, I need something. I need better health, for example. Why should I spend money on it? Why should I spend money on it? Why is this everything require money? Okay, everybody talking to me about their product, everybody talking to me about how cool they are. At the end, it comes down to money. Why does it require money? The third thing is, if I was going to spend money in the market, why would I spend it on you? These are questions in the mind of your customer that you need to address. So before you go about starting to make a money machine and all of that, you need to address these very important points, my friend. And if you don't understand these points, then there's no point doing all of this other stuff. In fact, if you're in business, there's no point doing business. Okay? So in the new slowdown world, what is it that the person needs? Why would they spend money on it? And why should they? Why should they? Why should they not get it for free? Okay, you should be thinking that. In fact, if they want to get something for free, why are you not the person who's providing it to them for free? Okay, and if they want to spend money, why should they spend money with you? Why not your competition? Why not somebody else? Okay, and if they were to spend money on something, and assuming they wanted to spend money on it with you or spend on your product, why should they spend money now? Why should they spend money now or today? Okay, now if your sales process or even if you have some online process or something like that, like an online funnel or money machine or something, if it does not answer these 4 questions, there's no point doing anything. There's no point doing sales, there's no point doing business, there's no point being in the market, there's no point doing any of this money machine online funnel stuff. Okay, so what the 4 things you got to build in your little machine, which you can then outsource or delegate or automate. 3 options: outsource, delegate, automate. Let the machine work for you. Then the first question is, you got to answer what is it that they need or want, even if they don't know that they want or need it. The second thing is, why should it be chargeable? Why should they spend money on it? The third thing is, why do they need to spend money on you? And the fourth thing is, why do they need to spend money now or today? Okay, if you can build this whole thing, if you can answer these 4 questions, then you can automate the whole process and let the machine work for you. Now, I had a little quiz for you in the video number 2, which was, the guy who kept saying, come HAVELI pe aa jana, come to my house, come to the house, come to the house. If you built this thing efficiently, if this thing is built right with keeping the customer in mind, keeping their needs in mind, thinking about them as a person rather than like a click, customer clicking away, just click here, then go there, then click here. Come on, dude. Okay, if you've done this right and fixed it just the right way, then all you need to spend your time is figure out how to get the person till here. That's it. Okay, so typically in a normal traditional sales process, what happens is you're going on answering questions, they're going on asking questions about the product, you're going on answering questions, but there's other things that are going on in their mind, which is these things that are not being answered, and they're not going to ask you that because this thing happens subconsciously. Okay, nobody asks you, why should I do it now? Why should I spend it with you? In fact, every time you're pitching their product, the customer is thinking, who else is there in the market who's better and cheaper, right? But they're not going to ask you that, right? So all of the time that you're answering a customer's question and trying to convince them, like the assistant, he tried to convince the cop about something, and the cop puts his hand, Sunil Shetty puts his hand around his shoulder and asks him 2 more questions. The more questions you answer for your customers, the more questions they're going to have for you, and it's not going to lead anywhere. It's all going to get into trouble. Okay, so the only answer to every other question is HAVELI pe aa jana. HAVELI pe aa jana, and when they come to the HAVELI, it puts them into an assembly line which hopefully answers these 4 questions for them. Okay, and then they decide whether to buy a product or not buy your product or whatever it is, right? The conversion rates of doing this stuff are 10 times that of doing manual selling. Conversion rates, percentage. Okay, so if your normal conversion rate as a salesperson was 2 to 4%, you will be able to convert 20 to 40% of all the customers you bring to the HAVELI. And any question, any answer to any question that they ask, why should I, tell me more about your features, what are the options, do you have a financing plan, do you have a pricing plan, I want to ask my wife before I spend, let me think about it and get back to you. Do you have a visiting card? Give me a visiting card. Any of this crap, any of these questions basically means that they don't want to do business with you, right? Anybody asks you for your visiting card, they don't want to do business with you, plain. Okay, the answer to everything is HAVELI pe aa jana. Okay, and that's when the funnel starts, and hopefully you answer these 4 questions. And once you answer these 4 questions, you will get 20 to 40% conversions on everybody you bring to the HAVELI. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. 20 to 40% documented. Okay. So I built an entire business using these formulae. During the lockdown, because I was sitting around not doing anything constructive, and then my wife said, why are you going to social media and fighting with people, or some political issue or something. So I tried this whole thing, and I built a business on live camera that generates 6-figure income today pretty much on autopilot. Okay, pretty much on autopilot. Not all of it is on autopilot, like the assembly line has some manual elements and all of that, but it generates 6 figures on autopilot. This is my part-time income. I don't even use that money because I have other money, right? But my conversion rates on everything documented on live video, my friend, documented on live video, everything done on live video with a screen capture and everything is 20 to 40% conversions. Okay, on all my sales. Okay, now some more ideas. What do people need? There are 6 big industries that are unaffected by corona, and if your product service is not pertaining to any of those 6, you can figure out backdoor entries to put a flavor on your current product and services so it has that kind of flavor of one of those top 6 industries. Okay, one of those top 6 industries. The second thing is, why should people spend money on it? What typically happens is that when people see your product, what they want to do is research. So they saw your product and now they want to go back and do their research. Where do they go there and do their research? They go and do their research on Google or YouTube or wherever. Okay. Now what happens is everything that Google tells them, takes them away from your product. Okay, so what you got to do is you got to provide them all the answers that Google is providing them, except that you're going to provide them all those answers in your personal controlled environment. Okay, and even the answers that take them away from your product, which is I don't want to spend money with you, I want to spend money with somebody else, you should get paid for that. Okay, what Amazon does is they don't produce anything of their own. They say you're anyway going to go on Google, right? Amazon is a Google for products and services, products, not for services, for products. So what Amazon did was Amazon went out to the whole wide world, all around the world, and they found the cheapest possible suppliers for every freaking product in the world, and they added them to their marketplace. And now they tell the customer, no need to go to Google and waste your time. You'll only get confused. Come to Amazon. Not only will you find all the cheapest suppliers, we are going to put all their products on a big comparative shop window where you can compare all of them. Not only that, our algorithm will pre-compare all of them and show you all the results so you can actually decide for yourself. Not only that, if you want to place an order with any one of these, you can actually do it inside my controlled environment. Not only that, if you place an order with any of these buyers, I will personally take a guarantee that I will collect it from every corner of the world and bring it to your doorstep, my friend, in 72 hours flat, as long as you have a Prime membership. Okay, so not only do you need to figure out what people want, which is fairly simple in today's times, you need to figure out how to get all of the information to them, all of the tool sets that they can do it for free, and all of the different comparative products which could also be your competitors over to them inside your controlled environment, so that you make money no matter what. You make money even if they don't buy anything, right? And then there is something called campaign-based selling that you apply in order to make them decide if you want it, it's going to be now or never. If you want it, it's going to be now or never. Okay, campaign-based selling. So this is pretty much This is the main part, not this. The money machine is a good concept, but creating a money machine when you don't know how to operate it is no use. Creating an assembly line when you don't have the spare parts and you don't understand what the customer wants is no use, which is why all these top internet marketers from India, in 1 year time, I can guarantee you that 90% of these top internet marketers will be out of business. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because there's a seed of a new breed that's in the market, man. There's people like me and you. There's people like me and you. In 12 months, we're going to take out all of these losers who are schlepping their little online funnels and their Facebook ads, okay? And we're going to set up a big ecosystem where we will be the persons providing the information, we'll be the people providing the tool sets, and we will be the people providing the products, whatever it is. Okay, now if you would like to know more, what I have for you is, watch out for an announcement from my side for Friday 9 p.m. I'm going to do a Facebook Live. It's going to be private stuff. All of this stuff is private, only for consumption within the group, okay? It's only for you guys because you're community members. I'm not doing it outside on my Facebook page, and I'm not doing it outside on my personal page or anything like that. So there's going to be a Facebook Live just between me and you. There's 7,000 people in the community. Congratulations for that. And we will meet on Friday night at 9. I'm going to show you 6 concepts that are going to blow your brains. If you're a corporate professional, doctor, lawyer, architect, chartered accountant, if you're a corporate professional, which is you work in a corporate company, if you're an independent professional, which is doctor, lawyer, chartered accountant, architect, whatever, and if you're a small business owner who's already in business, or if you're a sales professional, 6 concepts on how you can utilize all of this stuff in this market to make a killing. By the way, something I didn't tell you, I forgot to tell you, all of these big marketers who are lowering their prices, buy my stuff at $777, buy my stuff at $555 or $499, whatever, while they have been lowering their prices for the last 6 weeks running, I have been raising my prices. Last 6 weeks running, I've been raising my prices on live video, live camera. ROI, return on investment, return on ad spend, profitability, all of this stuff is documented inside the Startup Launch Program. If you're part of the Startup Launch Program, you know what I'm talking about. All of these sheets on live video. All of this whole thing is happening on live video. This whole thing is like a major ed TV. And if you're in the launch program, you know what I'm talking about. 6 weeks, we're going to hit it, man. We're going to hit it. Okay, so if you're new to this, if you're in the community, you're watching this stuff for the first time, you see me on Friday night at 9 p.m. Watch out for the announcement. There will be a link, and then, now the favor that I want from you is I'm testing out a lot of newer technologies, newer things like all of this stuff. And then on Friday, I'm going to be testing out Zoom streaming into Facebook Live, which is I'm going to be doing it for the first time. So be prepared for some, glitches here and there. Be prepared to help me out. It'll be a two-way street where I'll kind of ask you if the video is fine, audio is fine, etc. And then I'll want you to be much more interactive, because the first time I'm testing that technology, I'm testing a bunch of newer technologies and things like that, in order to get the communication much better and all of that. So you're basically my live experiment on Friday. But I guarantee you that if you're there on Friday, then I'll give you so much of value that it'll be worth more than an MBA course within the space of maybe 60 minutes. Okay, so what I want you to do now is, whatever your understanding of what you understood in this video, I want you to comment, because I want to get a good feel of whether I was able to explain this properly or not, because a lot of different thoughts going on in my head about this. And sometimes it feels to me that the opportunities are only expanding in this down market. So I just want to figure out if I did a good job of explaining this. So just give me some feedback and say, what is it that you understood from this video? That'll give me a good feel for how I need to present the information on Friday when we meet at 9 p.m. And then from there, we'll see if we can do something about this expanding opportunity in a down market. Okay, I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Bye-bye.